just want to show you a couple of these things because that health care bill, basically speaking, it is just an euthanasia bill. It is to get rid of people. It's to get, and if you don't believe, these are just a few of the things that are written about it. Now, I'll give you the pages that are on it, the health care bill. People, if they don't have time to read it, but someone's taken out the time and made a note of on page 22, mandates audits of all employers that are self-insured. And page 29, your health care will be rationed. Page 30, a government committee will decide what treatments and benefits you get with no appeals. Page 42, the Health Choices Commissioner will decide health benefits for you. You have no choice, none. Page 50, all non-U.S. citizens, illegal or not, will be provided with free health care services. Everyone is provided just as they want to provide. You don't have a choice. Page 58, every person will be issued a national ID health card. Page 59, the federal government will have direct real-time access to all individual bank accounts for electronic funds transfer. Page 65, taxpayers will subsidize all union, retiree, and community organizing health plans. Page 72, all private health care plans must conform to government rules. This is what I wanted to get into here. Where is this one about the age? Wait a moment, especially I saw, excuse me. Okay. The underlying costs of these things is for rationing and denying care. There's no focus on preventing health care. In fact, it is written that the board will reject, I just want to see, the illustrious board will approve or reject treatments for patients based on the cost per treatment divided by the number of years the patient will benefit from the treatment. If you're 65 or have been recently diagnosed as having an advanced form of cardiac disease or aggressive cancer, pick out your coffin. But anyway.
The basic problem with what our president is trying to do contradicts everything our founding fathers, how they structured our government, the different branches of government. They structured it in a way that no branch would have absolute power. It would, in other words, they all had to kind of work together. And this bill, this health care bill, once it's passed, it gives the government carte blanche, and it's irreversible. Once it's accepted, it will make the government, he will be in every aspect of our lives, not just health care, because once you open that door and let him in, he will go in everything that our lives are made of. He will be there regulating, saying what we can do, what we can't do. And if you don't believe me, it's all, and the great model is socialism of Russia or Cuba or China and so forth, because that's the kind of life those poor people have had to live under for many, many years. And many of them speak out today and testify that this bill that they're trying to pass will not work. The UK has it right now, and it's terrible. People are really suffering, and the Lord has been warning us, you know, of these evils that will come if we abandon our Lord, and if we don't listen now, unfortunately, the heartache will be when we are under the thumb. I found another quote by Thomas Jefferson, and he wrote this a long time ago, and I often wonder what was going on during that time for him to write this. It wasn't just a casual thought. And he says, "I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever." And that echoes more now for me because I just see the inroads working its way. A lot of people aren't aware that communism was in this country for many years, probably in the early 20s, and got its foothold in our government during the Roosevelt presidency, for 16 years, and kind of quietly, didn't really make too many, it didn't call attention to itself, but it was there, and now it's coming out in the open. Obama has put people in his cabinet who profess to be communists, the radical revolutionaries, and he has appointed them to lord over us in different aspects. And when you see this happening, it's frightening. I mean, I never thought I would live to see my country being slowly eroded away. And I feel for my children, my grandchildren, and your grandchildren. We're going to need our precious Lord more than we ever have, and he's trying to tell us, you better choose me now because the government cannot help you.
We already have health care for those who don't have any other source. In fact, we should always, by all means, when there's a need for it, or there might be certain situations that need reform that aren't done correctly. In fact, we always need to be and to look into our laws and situations as they change. But to have that the government supplies us with everything, that's not the government. This is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. As John Kennedy said, don't ask what the government can do for you. Ask what you can do for your nation, not the government.
Yes.
As soon as you get into big power government, you've lost your freedom, and that's what it is. Is it worth it to have lost your freedom? And this is trying to bring everyone into the same mold. And it's not to, and really what they're trying to do is get rid of too many people. Abortion, really it was started by when you have the family planning and what the group, it was really trying to get rid of the black people and people who they didn't want.
Yes.
And that's the way it started. It was Margaret Singer when she started.
Yeah.
That was her purpose. And we need to, it takes away from any personal enterprise. Over when they had Russia, if you fulfilled your quota, you said, bye, no one wants to sell or do any work. Once they've done more, it doesn't do them any good. There's no charity. There's nothing. It's me, me, me. Anything that's set on me, me, me. And even when people are under welfare too long, if you get families that are done when they need it, that is fine. But then soon they get used to it, and then they expect it, and so that's their only way of living. We should, in that again, quoting Pope John Pacem in Terris, help others to help themselves. Do for them only what they cannot do. Otherwise, we enslave them. And that is what the situation is. And during this thing in the health care bill, they need to get a hold of your bank account and everything so they can withdraw. As soon as they have everything and your employers, they regulate that and regulate, you have no freedom. Is it worth it? Again, freedom is not to do whatever you want to do. Freedom takes responsibility. But I repeat, God's mercy endures forever. God does not, remember this is a struggle between God and Satan, between man in God's image and man who is totally rejects God. And you can see what is happening to our own country once God has been rejected. Once he is being rejected, he's been put out of the schools, he's been put out, and basically our constitutions say there shall be no law preventing the free exercise of religion. It cannot be against the law, and it doesn't say only in tax-related things. We are the government.